Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Deadfire with me, Break It Down.
Sure.
Let's continue putting Waidwen back together. One dozen stood. That's an awesome name for a piece of armor. And it starts at Legendary. Don't let him through. Plus 15% damage with disengagement attacks, and plus 10 accuracy with disengagement attacks. And Scorched by the Godhammer, plus 2 burn armor rating. Blackened and Scored, this heavy plate bears the mark of a master metalworker of New Dunrid, the name of the Deerwooden capital of Defiance Bay prior to the revolution that freed it from the Adirans. The symbol of Mogren's flame graces the breastplate and pauldrons, barely visible under the wear the steel has suffered. The youngest of the dozen, Eastleigh of Balereach had served the Duke for 5 years, and her Earl back home for a decade before that. A deft hand with a blade and a fervent believer in the ideals of Mogren, Eastleigh seemed an obvious choice when she volunteered to help hold the bridge. The Duke granted her a small panoply for the encounter, including a battle-worn suit of plate that had been gathering dust in the shrine of Mogren. Though details of the battle are scarce, this is certain. After the explosion of the Godhammer, nothing of Eastleigh or her armor remained. Echo of the Godhammer. When the wearer is knocked unconscious, they deal significant burn damage to nearby enemies. Protection of the Godhammer. While near death, the wearer gains bonus armor and deals burn damage to melee attackers. Hold the bridge. The wearer gains bonus engagement as their health decreases, max plus 3 engagement. And stall for time. Nearby enemies have minus 40% stride for 4 seconds after the wearer scores a hit with the disengagement attack. It's a really cool suit of armor. I don't like the focus on disengagement attacks. But beyond that, very cool. You know what? Let's go and upgrade the black and plate armor to legendary.
Right.
Fragmented from Waidwen in the blast, a splinter of soul essence feverishly clings to a moment in life now forgotten. Breathe the soul. You drew your sickle across a thin patch of Vorlus. The harvest would be a poor one, but at least that was a shared burden that no one at Rietceris suffered alone. Echo Waidwen. We could use some rain to go with all the sunlight, Aethys. My thanks in advance. As usual, there was no reply. You drew the sundial out from under your shirt. The light had waned too much to judge the hour. Echo Aethys. Waidwen. You flinched as the chiming of a bell echoed from some distant source. A sensation of warmth spread across your back. Echo Waidwen. Who's there? The daylight blossomed to life, exploding into many colors that filled the sky. You turned to face it, shielding your eyes until you realized that it didn't hurt to look into this brilliance. A glowing figure loomed before you. Echo Aethys. Do you still thank me for the dawn and the harvest, Waidwen? You dropped to your knees. You felt laid bare before the light of Aethys. Every word spoken in hate, every punch you threw first, every time you turned your back to the dawn, they were all his to judge. Echo Waidwen. I won't plead for mercy. Do what you came to do. You tilted your head to present your neck, a motion you had seen repeated too many times in the town square. The luminescent figure flickered in a way that reminded you at once of a guttering candle and a chuckle. Echo Aethys. You think I'm here to admonish and cast you into the lake? No. I would draw you back to the warmth for a higher calling. He knew. Suddenly you felt like that child again. Vulnerable and alone before a looming, all-powerful presence. Echo Aethys. Fear not, for you're chosen above all others. You will be the light to bring about the rebirth of an empire. An empire. It was gibberish to you. But Aethys probably knew something you didn't. Of course he did. His words filled you with the warmth and confidence that you'd never felt before. Echo Waidwen. Just because I'm accepting this, doesn't mean I'm not angry with you. Aethys understood completely, never thought less of you for it. The sickle fell from your grip with a clatter as a hand reached out from across a great distance to touch your brow. A light stole over your vision. Much later, you awakened a changed man.
What did you see in there anyway?
A look of genuine curiosity comes over Adair's face as he levels his gaze to meet yours. Waidwen chose his fate for himself. He and Aethys shared a bond.
I suppose that's better than Aethys forcing it on him. I always wondered about that. A lot of folks did.
Alright, let's see if we can restore Waidwen now, and let's not forget about that priestess either. Waidwen stands suspended in the instant before calamity, a final appeal for surrender still frozen on his lips. Try and restore a fragment of Waidwen's soul.
The water, so cold. This day I believe Father wanted me to drown. If my faith was untrue, then I wasn't worthy to be his son.
The soul of Waidwen feels more vibrant and lively, but he isn't whole just yet. There must be more soul essence located nearby.
We could have parted on better terms, Father. But your son has too much of you in him. See, Father? I can be as vindictive as you.
Okay, that's the same description as before.
I was more than a vassal. I was his saint. He respected my opinion. But together we were called a monster.
Oh, we're not done. I wonder. So I don't remember if we transitioned to noon from down here. I know we've gone to dawn. Let's see where this takes us.
I've got it.
You've got to remember the incantation. Don't forget. Don't let it go.
You still don't remember the spell.
Didn't come this far just to tuck tail and surrender. Not to them.
Unconcerned with you, her spirit persists in rapidly assessing the situation frozen in time.
Once I've got my senses back, I'll drag them all along for my fiery ride into hell.
Farewell. So I'm thinking restoring her memories is part of the main quest here.
Curiouser and curious. Did I do that?
Glory be! Yeah!
Sure.
I don't expect anything to be inside these barrels, but it is cathartic. So we'll bust all these open.
I'm listening. Athek Worthen Roth! I'm here. Glory be! I'm here.
Method is a little more exciting.
Worthen Roth! I'm here. Of course.
Alright, so what do we do next? So the quest log. The southmost tower. Are you kidding me? It doesn't highlight or anything. I thought the key that we picked up was for this door here. Well, I'm glad I looked at the quest log. I feel like that wasn't hinted at anywhere else at all. Alright, memory of Margranite incantations. This text of collected incantations is blurry to the point of illegibility, as if the white void has stripped the ink of any meaning. It might still mean something to one of the denizens of Reimergon's realm. A short passage scribbled in the margin stands out with clarity. Let the scholars bicker over how we crammed a piece of Waidwen's soul into the bomb. A little uncertainty never hurt anyone. I only care that the darn thing goes off on time. Yeah, I was confused because there's only the one tower here. I thought maybe there's one down here because there's a portal over there. I don't think we can access this bottom right area.
You've got to remember the incantation. Don't forget. Don't let it go.
Give her the memory of Margranite incantations. I think this is what you're looking for. No sooner does the book make contact with her than it ceases to exist, absorbed into her memories. You feel the essence of the priestess swell with life and vigor.
Of course. Simple. How'd I forget a thing like that anyway?
As she begins the incantation, comprehend where and how the bomb was hidden. Knowing this, it feels as if 1,000 pairs of eyes are observing your progress at once. The illusion fades under their scrutiny. The soul of this priestess is muttering an incantation under her breath. The heat of Mogren's fire singes your face as you draw closer to the Godhammer bomb, which feels poised to go off at any instant. Under layers of copper plating, enchantments, and volatile materials, you sense a fragment of Waidwen's soul. It reaches out to you in blind confusion. Oh, that's right, they did hint towards that. They said there's a fragment of his soul in the bomb, and we need to restore all his fragments to Waidwen so he remembers. A parchment-thin shard of Adra is positioned inside of a spiked copper trap. When a current of essence conducts through the Adra, the trap will snap shut and complete a circuit. It will take incredible care to extract the soul without setting off the bomb. Interesting. Use betrayal to embody durance. Woman, reveal to me the construction of this bomb. Suddenly you're in the memory of the priestess. It recalls your voice to a workshop hidden somewhere dark and secure. There's so much explosive material in the air that a single candle would ignite the world, so the ambient light is conjured by prayer.
Are you all right? You sound like you've been eating coal dust. Again.
She turns to you wearing a frown. Option 4 is interesting. These all sound so much like Durance. Never mind my voice. Give your report before I cauterize that festering wound you call a mouth.
This work has changed you, and not for the better.
She blinks at you and shrugs. She lays out a vellum schematic of the bomb, showing a detailed cross-section of the detonator. It's a delicate assemblage similar to a trap, composed of brass and Adra. The latter is infused with the essence of a saint. Armed with this understanding of the bomb, you know you could disarm it with little difficulty. Echo Durance. Disciple, I apologize for my tone. I don't know how I came to be this way.
I don't want to hear it. Go. We're burning daylight.
She shakes her head and resumes her work, all too happy to put you out of mind. You leave the memory wiser for the experience, but it feels as if you're covered in a thin layer of ash that you can't wipe clean. Recalling Durance's memory of the schematics, disarm the bomb. You carefully reach inside the bomb. In no time at all, you're up to your shoulder in delicate gears and cogs, taking care not to displace anything. Something in the guts of the machinery falls off in your hand, but the Godhammer remains inert. Detonator Shard grants Final Flame. User creates a powerful explosion of fire at a location. Enemies caught in the blast take burn damage immediately and over time. Allies in the blast are healed immediately and over time. This piece of the Godhammer bomb hums with divine power. Its existence is something of a paradox, as the bomb it belonged to successfully detonated in 2808 AI. The combination of Mogren's blessing and historic significance make this trinket a rare find. Even though this catalyst never technically triggered the explosion on Yvonne Dewar Bridge, it thrums with the fire of the Godhammer and seems eager to fulfill its promise of destruction. Be able to reach the Adra at the heart of the detonation trigger and pull Waidwen's soul free without incident. Dawn rose over the mountain pass where you camped your forces. The first rays warm the tents and rouse your armed congregation from slumber. The Vondur Bridge was, a speck on the horizon. Echo Waidwen. Scouts say that a dozen soldiers hold the crossing. What do they think they can accomplish? You spat in the wind and considered your options. No one said this would be easy, but you started to wonder if the world even wanted a saint. The Deerwood certainly didn't. Echo Waidwen. They must have something to believe in, something that could turn the tides against us. You were only thinking aloud, but without warning it became one of the rare moments when a familiar voice interceded on your thoughts. Echo Aethys. It's possible. Our adversaries do not lack for motivation. You flinched as the presence asserted itself. Aethys had been preoccupied lately, spending days in contemplative silence, distancing himself from you. Echo Waidwen. What do you think, old friend? This be the end of our long march. You, Aethys, considered your answer with care. The inevitability of things always came easier to Reimergond, and in this moment, you'd envied him. Echo the Dawnstars. Maybe, but death isn't the ending you think it is. Embrace whatever comes. Waidwen nodded, absorbing your words. Echo Waidwen. Why try and stop us, though? Don't they want to see the light as we do? For some reason, it was always so hard telling Waidwen the truth. Maybe all the gods were out of practice. You already knew about the bomb, and you decided not to act on that knowledge. But Waidwen deserved an answer, even if it wasn't the entire truth. I guess echoed the Dawnstars. Sometimes Kith need to learn on their own, and we are naive to think that showing them the way is enough. Waidwen looked out on a Vondur bridge and wondered if he was ready to face the dusk. His thoughts were a placid lake. Then he spoke his mind again, this time taking you by surprise. Echo Waidwen. Those defenders are looking past their faith to stand against a god. They're here to fight for everything they built and planted together. Waidwen is beginning to see the point. It was your sorrow to know that he wouldn't live long enough to fully appreciate it. Echo Waidwen. Yet they're supposed to face the dawn together, not to depend on it. Our first duty is to each other. You wanted to tell Waidwen how proud you felt. He no longer needed a father's approval to know when he was right. That saddened you even more than knowing that Waidwen had seen his last sunrise.
What did you see in there anyway?
A look of genuine curiosity comes over Adair's face as he levels his gaze to meet yours. Aethys knew about the Godhammer, but he and Waidwen crossed the bridge anyway.
What? Why would he do that? Did he think it wouldn't hurt him? Did he want it to end there? You know, the more I learn about this, the less sense it makes. It just brings up more questions. There don't seem to be any good answers.
You've already extracted a fragment of Waidwen's soul from the detonator. There's nothing more to do here. Turn to Waidwen. Think that's the last piece of his soul?
Will do.
Alright, so the last missing fragments of Waidwen's soul. As all the essence you gathered on the Vondur bridge converges on Waidwen, his soul brightens with a flash, and his eyes snap open as a tide of revelation washes over him. Watch the events play out.
Thank you, friend. I'm struggling to understand it all, but my thoughts are clearer now.
Waidwen wobbles on his feet. His expression of bewilderment shapes into a broad grin as he recovers his bearings.
I think I accept why this needed to happen, but it is only human to feel conflicted.
I'm guessing the cycle is broken now.
Unless you feel like taking it for another go-around, I can wait.
He smiles lopsidedly.
There is a lesson, a purpose to the Godhammer that I failed to grasp.
Waidwen looks out on the bridge, paying particular attention to the men and women rallying against each other.
Eothas wanted the people of the world to stand tall, without gods propping them up. The Godhammer didn't just tear Eothas from my body. It drove a wedge between gods and kith across Eora. And isn't that just a version of what he always wanted?
I mean, I guess in a way. Let's go with option 2. I always thought he wanted to expose the work of the Ingwithans.
He did. But in the end, it was the difference of two rivers flowing into the same ocean.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Taking on that burden of suffering wasn't in Eothas' original plan. But it served him well enough that he was content to keep his distance for a few quiet years.
Waidwen shrugs. The matter seems to weigh on him less than before.
Now that I'm free, I can feel oblivion tugging at me harder than before. We won't have time to savor the victory, friend.
Waidwen looks down at his hands, which even now seem less substantial as the white void draws him away. He doesn't seem to mind. I'm on a mission to confront Eothas. Would you lend your help?
He's out in the world stirring the pot again, isn't he? We shared a bond long ago. Those were different times. I would only hurt your cause by tagging along.
Any words of wisdom, Adair?
Well, this sure is something. I never thought I'd be the one to give advice to a saint. I can't know what you've been through, but I think Eothas needs a reminder of what he put people through the last time he walked Eora.
If it'll do some good, I wouldn't be much of a saint if I refused you.
Waidwen takes an uneasy step closer before joining the throng of souls in your wake.
Yeah, the folks back home sure aren't gonna believe this. You're gonna have to back up my story, Watcher.
Stick with us and we'll have you back to gone in no time flat.
Yeah, I think this was definitely the most exciting of the 3 realms that you explore. Oh, great. Let's pull back a little bit, force him to us.
I bring your end.
Hey, that wasn't half bad.
God damn it all!
It does nothing.
Damnation!
Well, I don't like being interrupted. Oh, there's a lot I can do about it.
Nothing
A question,
more
Roger?
than rot.
Hey,
No.
Temporary setback.
No good.
Yes?
Try and get her somewhere safe.
Always fix it. Anna!
Feel my...
No reason to let her go down here.
that's not a... I know.
Can't quite reach because of the scourges being in the way.
This isn't as effective as you seem to think.
I can't feel my... everything.
Take him down.
One scourge is down. Fantastic. On to the next.
Damnation! Time to rethink the...
Yes, the burning guys. Start taking them out with Vatnir.
Stratagem!
I bring.
How about some more cold damage with Jody as well. And love a fireball back there.
This isn't as effective
Yeah, I did not realize there would be another fight. I was trying to just make it back to the Shattered Passage. Pick up there next time,
as
but
you seem to think.
we gotta cut through these folks first.
Well, rah.
Nuh-uh, didn't work.
God damn it all!
Let's go.
Damnation! Go with Ixiana!
Oh, down he goes.
Come now, step into here.
Let's try and keep them alive.
Still so it does nothing. Happy to oblige.
Hey, that wasn't half bad.
A temporary setback.
Take him down.
Hogwash!
Fantastic. Wrap this up.
A temporary setback.
Yeah?
That dog won't hunt.
Hey,
On it.
yeah, right away.
Alright, let's rest up real quick. We'll just give him that. Just to get rid of the injuries. Alright, I'm gonna call it here. Next time we will return to the Shattered Passage, speak with Waidwen, and I guess confront the dragon. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.